So, welcome to full stack development. I basically use this word called full stack development instead of full stack web development. So, don't try to use, I have completed a full stack web development course. Try to use, I'm a full stack developer. That's it. So, what is the difference between full stack web developer and full stack developer? Full stack developer means you can develop desktop applications, you can develop mobile applications. Of course, you can also develop the web applications. Okay. So all these three kind of applications you are able to develop by learning the knowledge here. So whatever the JavaScript we are going to learn in this course, it will help you to be successful in, of course, web development, as well as mobile application development and desktop application development. So all the three things can be done by this with this course. As well as full stack developer means it is not only about coding. So full stack developer is supposed to be a combination of code, test, and deploy. So you have to write the code for application. You have to write the test cases for your application. You should be in a position to deploy your code in the server. Deployment means after developing the application, somewhere you have to put your application so that everyone can access your application. So if you really want to do that, definitely you need to know so many things. So for coding, what all we are going to learn, of course. So here we are going to learn first the preliminary thing as JavaScript. So the complete JavaScript, there is no compromise in our MERN application development. MERN full stack. Okay. So many of the HRs are not happy with the word called web developer. Okay. You are not just a web developer. You are a complete full stack developer after this course. So first it is JavaScript. In this JavaScript, I'm not going to leave any small thing, including programming fundamentals. All the programming fundamentals I will be teaching you in this course, straight away from the basics of like variables kind of thing. Of course, including for loops, while loops. So complete programming fundamentals will be given. After that, JavaScript arrays, strings, object literals. You can say object literals. So these things comes under your data structures. It is not data structures and algorithms. It is about only data structures. Okay. Algorithms is completely a different course. For that, we generally don't use JavaScript. I do discuss only JavaScript problem solving techniques. So I will be covering the complete arrays, strings, and object literals. And JavaScript is basically called as functional programming language. So it is having almost all 15 different types of functions. All the types will be covered in the course, including callbacks, asynchronous functions, synchronous functions, events, event loops, all kind of functional concepts will be covered over here, promises and all. And after that, basically JavaScript is meant for handling the events and the DOM. You should know some of these things. Okay. Not some of these events and DOM must be learned. And after this, we have completely asynchronous programming. So this is about API calls, timers, window object, all those API, whatever the API we have, all the API will be covered. And then we are going to discuss about ES6 features. ES6, 7, 8, 9. Of course, next also. There are so many latest features which are included in the JavaScript in different versions. These are also covered. And this is only up to JavaScript perspective. Along with this, I will be covering TypeScript as well. So adding the type safety to your JavaScript will be possible by TypeScript. So this is the new language for everything. Everybody nowadays using TypeScript instead of JavaScript for larger applications. Very large applications, they are going for TypeScript. But directly writing the code in the TypeScript is not advisable. First of all, I will cover all the JavaScript foundation and then I will go to TypeScript. So this is about JavaScript I'm talking about. And then TypeScript. After that, you are going to get ReactJS. So in the ReactJS, it is not only about directly hooks or something like API calling, hooks, Redux toolkit. Okay, they're all very important topics, but more than anything, first of all, you need to understand the fundamental process of JSX. In the JSX, we are going to understand conditional rendering, conditional styling, conditionally, event handling, UI generation, how actually JSX feels to create the UI. These are all going to be discussed very thoroughly in the JSX. Yes. Along with that, in the React.js, you are going to have lot of things, especially like refactoring. So many of the people are facing the problem on refactoring. That means how do you separate the application into small units? That separation of the concern is called as refactoring. And reusability. What is this reusability? How the one particular code can be written in a separate function or a separate hook where that can be used again and again. For example, you are making an API call. So for making API calls, you have to write that particular function in a that particular code in a particular function, and we call that function again and again in multiple components. So separation of the concern is very important for React.js. So how do we make that reusability? By using hooks. That means custom hooks. This word is very important, guys. Custom hooks and services. This is another factor. I am not actually, whatever the regular topics are there in every institute, I will be covering 200% more than that. 200%, not even 100%. Such a huge coverage will be there. That is anyways, those all will be available in the website. So you just go to edupoly.in. In that, you just go to the React.js courses. You will find out what are the takeaways and what is the course content and all. I'm not worried about the course content, but these keywords are not discussed in many of the places. So be ready for the refactoring and reusability. You have to use these keywords in your resume. So for example, when you have a resume, what kind of resume you have to prepare? While you are preparing the resume, you have to take a lot of precautions. You have to write, for example, I'll tell you, okay, GPT is going to give you enough resume, but resume for 5 years, ReactJS developer, stack developer. So here, the technical skills, whatever you have, they're already given. But more than that, professional experience. In the professional experience, you must have worked in one company. You must have worked in one company. So here, if you observe properly, built dynamic dashboards and reusable. Ekkada chusara? Can you see this? Reusable React components. So these words are very important. It is not only about I know components, I know props, I know state management. This is very bad. Those resumes will not be picked up by anybody. Bloody hell. That's it. So you have to use refactored, reusable. So those all words are very, very important for your resume selection. So be ready for that. So those are all things I am discussing right away. Whether you join or don't join, I don't mind. But you have to take something from this webinar or something from the demo class. So use this kind of keywords. And I know you may not understand on the very first day. It takes time. Definitely it takes time. But keep on reading the same word, refactored, refactoring, reusability. Some or the other time, you are going to understand that. And even this conditional rendering, conditional styling, this keep your profile in such a way that these all keywords are covered. So now will take these keywords into account and they will validate more. Okay. So anyways, so this is how you are able to build the ATS friendly. That means your now friendly profiles. Okay. So that you can get the job soon. Okay. So now, where are we? Yeah. Okay. So reusability, we are able to do it with custom hooks and services, as well as you are using some RTK, Redux Toolkit slices and normal hooks also. Anyways, these are all meant for this reusability. We are going to discuss along with the component and JSX. So this is very in-depth analysis on ReactJS. Along with this, we are going to cover the most important activities like Redux, Redux Toolkit, Redux Toolkit query is for state management. And we call it as component communication or state management. Along with that, we are going to cover routing with v6.3.1. Of course, we have a latest version called 7, but most of the people are using 6.3.0. We are going with this. And also we are going to cover Formic with Formic for form handling. And we call this form handling with validations by using yup. So these are all the these are all the, what you say, concepts of React.js. These are all called concepts of React.js. This is what we cover in the React.js. Yes. After that, you are going to have backend. In the backend, this is all comes under frontend. This is all comes under frontend. What do we have in the backend? Yeah, let me show you. So first, backend is divided into NodeJS, ExpressJS, MongoDB. Even the Postgres SQL videos will be given. These will be 100% covered in your class. So in the Node.js also, we will understand the complete platform. And then the best part of the whole course is API creation by using ExpressJS with authenticated, authorized, and properly structured expressor. And then in the MongoDB, we will understand how do we query the database and filter, project, all these things. So this is comes under database backend. So in this, mainly you should be worried about authenticated API. So we will be creating APIs with authentication. So this is basically comes under the coding part or conceptual part. Yes, now we have to concentrate on this particular point. That is called testing. Yes, we are not giving you too much of testing, and first of all, you need not to concentrate much on testing, but you should know at least a few basics of testing, how to write unit test cases. What is jest? What is Cypress? So basic things of jest and Cypress are supposed to be needed to you. Okay. And personal level, if you read something called Playwright, this is also one of the very famous tool from Google. Okay. I think my spelling is wrong. No. Yeah. And of course, it is supported by Google, but it is not activated as Google. Okay, fine, no problem. It is not mentioned as Google. This is one of the trending end-to-end test cases technique. But you should just know what is this and how do we use it. Nothing else. So if you have a chance, learn it, or else go with jest and type Cypress from the level of configuration to writing the test cases for your components. Of course, ChatGPT is able to generate the test cases, but at least you should know where the testing has to be done. Okay, so be ready for that. Okay. And then the most important activity called deployment. This is called as development. And lastly, we are going to see the deployment. Once you have developed the application, you have to put it in a server. How do you place that in the server? For that, you need lot of things. Let me show you all those activities. One, you need Git. So we will be starting from there. I mean, while we are developing the application only, I will slowly introduce the Git without your notice. Okay. I don't start a PPT for this is Git. No, I don't start it like that. In the daily routine, you will be already using the Git. And second thing is cloud. So which cloud we are using? We are not using any AWS or any Azure. We are using clouds like Netlify, Vercel. Nowadays, these are the trending cloud platforms because most of the web applications will be deployed in this. So for this, you need to understand what is CI/CD, continuous integration and continuous deployment. That means how do you link the Git and cloud? So in the Git, we have our code. How do you push that code into cloud? So that process is comes under continuous integration and deployment. Yes, I will give you one session on Dockerization. What do you mean by Dockerization? Once you have completed your application, you have to convert it into a Docker instance. So with that Docker instance, how do you deploy AWS? Nowadays, AWS is too costly. Even GCP is also becoming, I mean, you need credit card and all. So I will show you how do I do it on our applications, on our, what do you say, servers. I will show you that level. And also nowadays I am using Firebase for some applications. Today, I would like to show you that activity also. What is the Firebase I'm using, what level of Firebase. I will draw the diagram for that. This is also going to be discussed in the process of deployment. Okay. Those people who are not working, they are just uh, trying to keep the fake or something like that. Don't put much about cloud or Dockerization in the resume because they may reject you based on the questions. Okay. So Git is a must, Netlify is a must. These two things should be learned. You should know what is CI/CD, but don't put more info about Dockerization and cloud kind of things because you may not able to answer completely for them. But yes, whatever we have discussed here, all these topics will be covered in the course. So now please go through the website for more information. I have given all the information, especially when you are going for MERN stack or mean stack. Whatever the course content I have given, please go through the complete course content. I think I have not updated that. Sorry. Is it still MERN stack? Okay. 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 Along with this, we are going to discuss the complete backend also. Worry not. Where is mean? So go for the mean. I have not updated that content in the MERN stack. Yes, if you go to the mean, what we are going to cover in the Node, Express, MongoDB, PostgreSQL, even server-side rendering, as well as the deployment. All those things have been given over here. Go through this content. Okay. Yeah. So freshers, do you have any queries on this so far? ఇప్పటివరకు విన్న దాంట్లో మీకు ఏమైనా క్వరీ ఉంటే అడగండి ఒకసారి. మీ డౌట్స్ క్లారిఫికేషన్ కానీ చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ పాయింట్స్ కొన్ని ఉంటాయి కదా, ఐ విల్ స్పీక్ దట్ ఇన్ తెలుగు. ఏవైతే చాలా చాలా అవసరం అవుతాయో దాన్ని నేను తెలుగులో కూడా ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తాను. మీ డౌట్స్ ఏమున్నా సరే వాటన్నిటిని తెలుగులో ఆన్సర్ చేస్తాను. సో कोई भी अगर हिंदी से है सो वो भी मैं हिंदी में बात कर सकता हूँ, और आपके डाउट्स जो भी है मैं हिंदी में ही क्लियर कर लेता हूँ. ठीक है, ओके. So now let us go to the next activity. That next activity is how application works. Today I can't cover the what do you say, coding part, but tomorrow I will definitely give you the complete implementation of the logic. Okay, don't worry, I don't leave you any time like that. If you have any doubts, go to my github.com/edupoly. You can see I have 262 repositories with tons of code, tons of code. Every code I am uploading it in the GitHub. So you have everything. If you go through our what do you say, FS 2508, let us see this. So here, whatever the JavaScript code I have developed, all the code I have given already. So for every example, we have another website called Edupoly.Versal app. In this, we are having the notes for technologies. It is now getting developed. So if you go to the JavaScript part, you can see something like for everything you have all the examples. For every small operation you have the examples. As many examples, as many assignments, all these things I have already covered. And you can go through my YouTube channel. Go to YouTube and search for Praveen classes. So here I am. You can click on this. Okay, you can click on this and you can see my latest updates on ExpressJS, Angular, React, JavaScript, all these things. So you can go for videos and then latest. So you can see my updates, what kind of topics I am speaking and what depth I am talking about. Okay, so use them to judge Praveen Gubbala. Don't judge by demo classes. Go through these all videos and then try to come to a conclusion. డబ్బులు ఎవరికి ఊరికే రావు, నేను కూడా డబ్బులు వదిలిపెట్టను. ఓకే, సో యూ హ్యావ్ టు బి వెరీ కేర్ఫుల్ వైల్ యు ఆర్ పేయింగ్ టు సంబడి, ఇంక్లూడింగ్ మీ. మంచోళ్ళు ఎవరు లేరు ఇక్కడ. సో మీరు కూడా చూడండి, ఇవన్నీ చూసి ఒక అంచనాకు రండి. ఎవరైతే బయట బాగా మేము అది చేస్తాం ఇది చేస్తాం అంటారో డెఫినెట్లీ దే విల్ పుల్ యూ ఇన్ టు సంథింగ్ ఎల్స్. హియర్ ఐ స్పీక్ ఓన్లీ సబ్జెక్ట్. గో టు ఎనీథింగ్ subject, whatever the subject you want, you can ask me. I am ready to give you 100%, no second question at all. Okay, this is how I actually developed my career as well. For example, I started learning the TypeScript because of students. I started learning the Angular JS because of students. I started learning the GraphQL because of students. Students used to ask me, I want this, I want that. And when I go to a project and I will work on it and I will explain, I will give that work, I will information or knowledge to everyone. This is my daily routine. Many of the students, my students are in Google, Workato, direct product based companies, PayPal, Amazon. So I will discuss with them what kind of depth they are using in their companies. And then I will come back and I will discuss with you all. That is how I do all these things. Okay. So I am ready to teach you any level of subject without any fail. Okay. Come back to the point. The point is, go through this channel. Please don't forget to subscribe. Huh? So now the point comes is how the application works in the real time. I repeat, how the application works in the real time. So here I would like to show you something. Here is the browser. So browser is the main contact point for everyone. Whatever the applications we use, for example, Flipkart, Amazon, Book My Show, any this kind of websites and web applications I'm talking about, they're all open in the browser. But how the browser gets it? Asal browser ekkadi, right? So here the most important activity is servers. We have something called front end server. So browser will first request this server like flipkart.com, and server will send you the HTML, the front end server, CSS and JavaScript. And that page will be loaded in the browser. And after that, you need the data. The front-end server don't carry any data. Front-end server only carries HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Whatever we loaded in the browser web page, inside that we will have JavaScript program that will send a request to backend server. Okay, this is backend server. So this JavaScript will send the request to the backend server. Backend server will give you the data. Request for data. We call it as API calls. And we will get the data back in JSON form. So the data will be taken by JavaScript and that JavaScript will show that data on the page. This is what happens. And then suppose now finally you want to purchase something or you want to, all the data got displayed, fine. But now you want to purchase something or you want to put some, what is some content, your own content into some page or some place. So for that, you have to log in. So for the login, you have another server called authentication server. Sometimes, not sometimes, 50% of the time or 60% of the time, your backend only will do the authentication. But nowadays, a new trend is happening that for authentication, we use a auth server. This auth server will give you a token. So the token will be sent to the backend for authentication and authorization. So for this authentication and authorization, we are using something called Firebase. So what is my intention is tomorrow I would like to show you how Firebase works for authentication. Complete end-to-end Firebase authentication. Okay, how to get the first of all, the application keys, all these things I will show you tomorrow because it is not going to be completed in time. Okay, it will take a lot of time. Tomorrow it is completely on Firebase authentication. Please wait for tomorrow. Don't worry. So here, this is the pattern what every application follows. And backend will not possess any data. For data, we have something else called database management system. In that, we have DB. From the DBs, the backend will get the data, and that data will be given back to the JavaScript code from where the request has arrived. So this is the end-to-end application development. So how do you deploy your for example, we developed this React application, right? How do you put it in the front-end server? This front-end server here, I am using something called Netlify or Vercel or Firebase. That is also fine. For deploying the front end, I'm talking about. For backend deployments, this is not that easy. For backend, we have to use either AWS or else Azure, or else you have to use GCP, or else there are some hybrid clouds, something called Heroku. Or else Railway. We were having one more thing, I forgot that. Railway ముందు మనం ఏం యూజ్ చేసామన్నా గుర్తుందా? Heroku కాకుండా రైల్వే కాకుండా render. There is another library called render. Not library. There is another backend hosting, and even Firebase. Can you see this? Firebase can be used for hosting static or front-end application. Firebase can be used for backend application deployments, and Firebase can be used for authentication also. All the three things can be done by using Firebase. Okay. Yeah, this level of capability is there. There are so many things, Nana. If you really want to learn, instead of teaching you, I am actually putting it in the YouTube. Please go through that. In Supabase, there is another, just like Firebase, we have another Supabase. These are all cloud platforms which are very, very intelligent. It's not normal thing. Super possibilities are there. Supabase provides you something called PostgreSQL integrations also, and that is very nice, very nice. You use it. Okay. So now deployment will be happening here, but for everybody, the code will be resident at Git. I mean to say GitHub. In fact, those people who are professional make use of Bitbucket. Bitbucket is nothing but Git only, but it is little bit more professional, Bitbucket. So those people who worked for some bigger companies like TCS or any well-known companies, don't say I have used GitHub. Say I have used Bitbucket. మీరు ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్లో కనుక మీరు ఏదైనా మంచి కంపెనీ పెట్టుకుంటుంటే అక్కడ గిట్హబ్ అనకండి, ఏమనాలి? బిట్ బకెట్ అని చెప్తారు. బిట్ బకెట్ అని పెట్టండి. ఓకే. సో ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, you want to deploy the code for front-end server in Netlify. Actually, we don't directly put the code inside the Netlify or any other front-end servers. First, we will put this code in GitHub. whatever the deployment, మన కోడ్ ఏదైతే ఉందో అది కోడ్ ఎక్కడ తీసుకెళ్ళి ఎక్కడ పెట్టుకుంటాం, గిట్లో పెట్టుకుంటాం. Then from Git it will take the data. So it is like just this Netlify or Vercel, these are all only to maintain the infrastructure. They don't do anything. But eventually code ekkada untundamma, where is the code? It will be there in the GitHub. Even Node backend applications will also get the code from the GitHub only. Everybody use the code from GitHub only, I'm telling you. Okay, so such a crucial role it plays in the application development. And the second thing is, here for database management system, we are using MongoDB. In the MongoDB also, you need not to worry about it. We have a Mongo cloud that is called as Atlas. Mongo cloud. So it is 512 MB free. That is more than enough. We need not to worry about how much. Okay, so we will be deploying. So eventually what we are going to do, we are going to learn real-time application development. So just for your demo, I have prepared myself. I have prepared the complete backend part, total backend part. Let me start the server. And this is the front end part for application development. npm run. I forgot that point. The latest application development with Vite, we are not using any create React app or any old mechanism. We are using Vite. So this is the application what I have developed for the demo. So this is what I am going to discuss tomorrow in the demo session 2. Okay, so this is a simple note application, or you can call it as to do application, but it requires login and sign up. So what is the beauty of this is, it will give you the sign up page for Google. This is called signing up with Google. If you really want, and if you have that kind of interest, I would like to teach you how do you log in with GitHub, how do you log in with Facebook. These are all possibilities are there. But the only thing is, I want your interest. If you are interested, I am ready to teach. So here, I just said, I will log in with gubbalapraveen@gmail.com, so that it will show me all my, my to-dos. So here I will be adding, prepare a presentation to presentation for Telangana government. So I need to present something to these people, IT head. So here, this is the task I had to do it today. So now I have added that task. I just log out and I will sign in with another account. Let me sign in with Manumits IT Solutions. Manumits.in. Okay. So here the to-dos of the man units is different. So clear bills for US client. So now I just log out and I log in back for Gubbala Praveen. So now you can see the prepare a presentation for Telangana government is back. I mean, that means I'm able to maintain my own to-dos according to the login credentials. How is this all happening? It is very simple application. Tomorrow we are going to see this from end to end. What is the role of Firebase in this application development? What is the role of database? What is the role of front end? This entire picture I am going to show you tomorrow. This entire picture. Real time, 100% real time. What is the role of Firebase? What is the role of DBMS? What is the role of backend? What is the role of Git? What is the role of front end server? Everything how the browser is actually interacting with all these people is tomorrow's class. You got the point? రేపు మనం ఏం చేయబోతున్నాం అసలు ఈ ఇప్పుడు చూపించిన అప్లికేషన్ని మొత్తాన్ని ఎట్లా కాన్ఫిగర్ చేస్తాం ఏం చేస్తాం అనేది మొత్తం చూపిస్తాం. సో at the end of the tomorrow you should be in a position to develop an application with authentication also. Then inka technical terms, the technical terms are called single sign on అంటారు. How do we do it అనేది రేపు చూద్దాం. Okay, but anyways in the class, regular classes will be starting from Monday. So in the regular class we will be going to discuss from the basics, like zero level basics. Okay, what is an additional operator, what is subtraction operator, what is typecasting, all these things will be definitely discussed. But yes, tomorrow we are going to discuss this entire application development in a short way. Okay, yeah, I'm open to the queries. Whoever are new to the class, Kranti, I found you very new to the class. Nagaraju, Prakash is a old. Sankeet, okay. Yeah. Any questions? Shankar ji.
Sir, quick question.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. So, in any time, are we going to learn about redirecting to payment gateway network for those people like business-oriented application, like integrated with Razorpay and all?
Prakash, for payment integration, I will charge around 1 lakh.
Okay.
Yeah, that is my freelancing work, Prakash. Okay. So how can I discuss payment gateway integrations in this course? Okay. If anybody says that, it is a nonsense. Nobody will tell you how to do that payment gateway integration. Okay. That is completely a proprietary work. Whatever the possibilities are there, I have given it. Okay. Yeah. So let us limit the class for subject, not for the business. I'm openly saying this point. Okay, next. టెక్నికల్గా ఏదున్నా సరే అడగండి. ఐఎమ్ రెడీ. అంటే అది కూడా టెక్నికాలిటీ అంటే అది బిజినెస్లోకి వస్తుంది, సబ్జెక్ట్ కాదు కదా అది. ఓకే, దాంతోటే కదా కంపెనీస్ అన్ని మేమంతా రన్ చేసుకుంటాం. ఓకే, యా. సో ఐ హోప్ ఐఎమ్ క్లియర్ వాట్ ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ ఐ వాంట్ టు గివ్ యూ. ఐఎమ్ వెయిటింగ్ ఫర్ టుమారో టు teach or to give you that complete information about authentication and authorization. by using Firebase with all the other servers. See you tomorrow. For RB50 51 49 ఒక 10 minutes లో నేను జాయిన్ అవుతాను. రెగ్యులర్ లింక్ లో జాయిన్ అవుతాను. కమ్ ఇన్ దట్ లింక్. See you.